Imagine you have two options: age quickly, with a tired body, a worn-out mind, and a life full of regrets, or stay strong, mentally sharp, and full of energy even as the years pass by. Most people destroy themselves without realizing it. Day by day, they make small mistakes that, accumulated over time, make them age faster than they should. They look older, feel exhausted, and their minds deteriorate. The worst part is that many of these things are done without even knowing it. It's not just about genetics or the passage of time, but the habits you repeat every day. The Stoics knew that true aging is not of the skin, but of the spirit. A man can be 40 years old and be finished, while another at 60 can radiate strength and vitality. The difference lies in how he lives his life, the habits he has, and how he faces each day. Today you will discover 11 bad habits that are accelerating your aging, both physical and mental. Habits that, if you don't correct them, could cost you years of life, and even worse, a life full of limitations. But here, I will not only tell you what they are, I will show you how the Stoics faced these issues and what you can do, starting today, to reverse the damage and regain control. Because aging is inevitable, but aging badly is a choice. So, are you going to keep letting these habits destroy you, or are you going to do something about it? Stay until the end, because the last habit is the most dangerous of all. Most people commit it, without knowing they are literally shortening their own life. If you want to stay strong and full of energy, comment vitality below. That way, I'll know you're committed to your well-being. Subscribe for more content on Stoicism and share this video with someone who needs to eliminate these bad habits before it's too late. Let's go together on this journey. 1. Not managing stress. Premature aging stress is a silent killer. You don't see it, you don't touch it, but you feel it in every fiber of your body. It's that constant tension, the pressure in your chest, insomnia, mental fatigue. And if you don't control it, it becomes a poison that slowly consumes you, wearing down not just your mind, but also your body. Chronic stress spikes cortisol levels, a hormone that in excess destroys your cells, accelerates inflammation, and damages your skin and organs. That's why people who live in a constant state of anxiety seem to age faster. They look tired, with premature wrinkles, hair loss, and a constant expression of exhaustion. But it doesn't just affect your appearance. It also shortens your life expectancy. Chronic stress has been linked to cardiovascular diseases, digestive problems, and cognitive decline. In other words, it steals years from your life without you even realizing it. This is where Stoicism teaches one of its most powerful lessons. Marcus Aurelius said, "If something external disturbs you, it is not the thing itself, but your opinion of it." Stress doesn't come from what happens around you, but from how you interpret what happens. Think about this: two people can face the same problem, but one drowns in anxiety, while the other faces it calmly. Which one do you think will age faster? The Stoics practiced the dichotomy of control, a fundamental tool for reducing stress. They divided everything into two categories: what you can control and what you can't. If you can do something about it, do it. If not, accept it and move on. Many people are consumed by useless worries. They stress over other people's opinions, traffic, the weather, things they cannot change. The result? Worn-out bodies, exhausted minds, and lives full of frustration. The key is to train yourself to see problems objectively. When something upsets you, ask yourself, is this within my control? If the answer is no, let it go. Don't allow unnecessary worries to steal your health, peace, and youth. If you want to live longer and better, learn to control your stress before it controls you. 2. Sleeping little and poorly. Sleep is your natural rejuvenator. Sleeping poorly is a sentence of premature aging. You can exercise, eat well, and avoid stress, but if you don't sleep enough, all of that becomes ineffective. Sleep is not a luxury. It's a biological necessity, and when you neglect it, your body and mind start to deteriorate rapidly. Each night while you sleep, your body activates a process of regeneration and cleansing. Your cells repair themselves, your brain eliminates toxins, and your skin produces collagen to stay firm and youthful. But when you deprive your body of this rest, you ruin this natural restoration cycle. People who sleep less than 6 hours a night age at an accelerated rate. Why? Because deep sleep is the time when your body regulates key hormones like cortisol, melatonin, and growth hormone. If you don't sleep well, your body remains in a constant state of stress and deterioration. The impact shows on your face: dark circles, dull skin, more pronounced expression lines. But the worst part is what you don't see. Lack of sleep affects memory, learning, and mental clarity. Studies have shown that people deprived of sleep show signs of brain deterioration, similar to someone experiencing premature aging. The Stoics understood the value of rest. Seneca wrote, "Night is a silent counselor that repairs the soul and the body." They didn't see sleep as a waste of time, but as an essential part of balance and mental strength. The problem today is that many sacrifice sleep for entertainment or work. They spend hours on social media, watch TV late into the night, or bring worries to bed. The result is superficial and poor quality rest. If you want to avoid premature aging, set a regular sleep schedule. Turn off screens at least 1 hour before sleeping. Avoid caffeine at night and make your rest a priority. Because you will age much faster if you continue neglecting what should be your greatest rejuvenating tool: restorative sleep. 3. Might is poor diet. Your body is what you eat. Imagine you buy a high-end car. It's powerful, elegant, and has an engine designed to perform at its best. Now, instead of filling it with the best fuel, you decide to use the cheapest and most polluted one. How long do you think it will last before it starts to break down? Your body works in the same way. If you feed it junk food, processed foods, and chemicals, you're forcing it into premature deterioration. It's not just about weight or appearance, but how it affects your energy, your skin, your organs, and even your brain. The Stoics saw eating as an act of discipline and control over impulses. Epictetus said, "You should eat to live, not live to eat." But today, most people eat without thinking. They don't choose foods that nourish their bodies. Instead, they follow cravings, emotions, and destructive habits. Modern diets are filled with sugar, trans fats, and artificial additives. The result? Chronic inflammation, accelerated cellular aging, and a buildup of toxins affecting your entire body. Every time you consume ultra-processed food, you spike insulin and cortisol levels, which destroys collagen and elastin in your skin, causing premature wrinkles and sagging. It also affects your gut microbiota, which directly impacts your energy, mood, and ability to concentrate. But it's not just about what you eat, but also about what you don't eat. Many people have diets deficient in vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants, which are essential for repairing cells and keeping the body young. Premature aging is not just about the years, but about habits. If you eat poorly, your body deteriorates faster. If you eat well, you can stay strong, agile, and mentally clear even as time passes. The Stoics practiced moderation and fasting as a way to strengthen the body and mind. Marcus Aurelius recommended simplicity in food, focusing on what truly nourishes instead of what just satisfies momentary desires. If you want to avoid premature aging, change your relationship with food. Reduce your intake of sugars and ultra-processed foods. Prioritize fruits, vegetables, quality proteins, and healthy fats. Feed your body like it's a temple, not a garbage bin, because every bite you take is building your future. Either a strong, vibrant body or a worn-out one that ages prematurely. 4. Mindless lack of exercise. A body that doesn't move rusts. Imagine a sharp, durable knife. If you use it regularly and take care of it, it remains in perfect condition. But if you leave it forgotten in a drawer, unused, it starts to rust, lose its edge, and eventually becomes useless. The same happens with your body. Lack of exercise is one of the fastest ways to age prematurely. An inactive body weakens, loses muscle mass, and becomes slow and clumsy. But the worst part is not just the physical impact, but the effect it has on your mind. Movement is not just about aesthetics or strength, it's about health and longevity. When you don't exercise, your metabolism slows down, circulation deteriorates, and your energy levels plummet. Your body begins to shut down little by little. The Stoics valued physical activity not only as a tool to strengthen the body, but also as a way to master the mind. Marcus Aurelius trained his physical endurance because he knew that a strong body supports a strong mind. Body and mind are one unit. Today, most people spend hours sitting, hunched over screens, with poor posture and atrophied muscles. They move less than ever and are then surprised when they feel pain, fatigue, or age prematurely. Exercise not only keeps you young, but it protects your brain, improves collagen production, and reduces stress. It even helps prevent neurodegenerative diseases like Alzheimer's. It's not a luxury, it's a biological necessity. You don't need to spend hours at the gym. The important thing is to move every day. Walk, lift weights, stretch, strengthen your posture. A body that moves is a body that lives. If you don't exercise, your body will rust, and you'll age prematurely. Don't become someone who lets their own negligence destroy them. Start today, even with a simple walk. Every movement you make is an investment in your future. Surrounding yourself with negative people, the 5 mice invisible poison that destroys you. Imagine putting a rotten apple in a basket full of fresh fruit. At first it seems harmless, but over time, its decay starts to contaminate everything around it. The same happens with negative people in your life. The people you spend the most time with shape your mind, your energy, and even your health. If you surround yourself with complaints, envy, criticism, and pessimism, even if you don't realize it, you'll start absorbing that toxicity as well. The Stoics understood this better than anyone. Epictetus said, "Don't be dragged along by the crowd. The company of fools makes you a fool." If you spend time with people who only see problems, victimize themselves, or live with resentment, you'll end up adopting their mindset without realizing it. The impact is not just emotional but physical. The stress caused by toxic relationships accelerates aging, raises cortisol levels, and affects cellular regeneration. In fact, studies have shown that living in a negative environment can reduce your life expectancy. Negative people are like an anchor pulling you down. They steal your energy, make you doubt yourself, and hold you back in your growth. But here's the truth. You choose who you allow into your life. The Stoics practiced indifference to the opinions of others and carefully selected whom they spent their time with. It's not about hating or judging, but about protecting your peace and well-being. Surround yourself with people who inspire you, challenge you to be better, and give you strength instead of exhaustion. Stay away from those who only know how to live in complaint and drama, because their poison is silent but deadly. If you want to live longer, feel better, and age with dignity, be selective about the people you surround yourself with. You can't control others, but you can choose who you walk with on this life journey. 6. Living with resentment and negativity. The weight that destroys you from within. Resentment is a poison you drink hoping it will harm others. It's an invisible weight you carry on your shoulders, consuming your energy, altering your emotional state, and without realizing it, speeding up your aging. The Stoics knew that holding on to resentment was a form of self-sabotage. Marcus Aurelius said, "The best way to take revenge on someone is not to resemble them." This means that when you allow hate or bitterness to take over you, you become a prisoner of what you despise. The problem is that many people cling to negative experiences, reliving the pain, betrayal, or injustice they suffered. They believe that by holding on to resentment, they are protecting themselves, but in reality, they are slowly destroying themselves. It is scientifically proven that negative emotions affect the body. The chronic stress generated by resentment increases inflammation, raises cortisol levels, and accelerates cellular deterioration. The skin loses its glow, wrinkles appear faster, and the immune system weakens. Moreover, resentment steals your mental peace. It keeps you trapped in the past, reliving wounds instead of moving forward. Constant negativity creates a dark filter through which you see the world, making even good moments lose their shine. The Stoics practiced acceptance and indifference to what they couldn't control. It doesn't mean being weak or allowing others to walk all over you, but understanding that resentment only harms you. Epictetus taught that true freedom comes when you stop reacting emotionally to the external. If someone has wronged you, the best response is not to live with resentment, but to move forward without allowing that person to have power over you. Forgiveness is not for the other person, it's for freeing yourself from the weight you carry within. Negativity and resentment are burdens that age you, drain you, and prevent you from living fully. Stop feeding those feelings and start focusing on what truly matters: your growth, your peace, and your well-being. 7. Not learning new things. The brain you let die, your body ages. That's inevitable. But if your mind also atrophies, you'll be shutting down much earlier. A lack of learning is a sentence of premature aging. When you stop challenging your brain, you let it rust, lose agility, and become slow. It's like a muscle that, if not used, weakens. The Stoics were students of life. Seneca said, "As long as you live, keep learning how to live." For them, knowledge wasn't just a collection of information, but a tool to improve every day. Learning new things kept the mind awake, flexible, and strong in the face of challenges. Today, many people settle for what they already know. They fall into routine, repeat the same habits, and let their curiosity die. But what they don't realize is that when they stop learning, their brain starts to deteriorate faster. Studies have shown that those who keep their minds active are less likely to suffer from neurodegenerative diseases like Alzheimer's. Learning something new doesn't mean memorizing useless data, but challenging your mind. It could be reading about a subject you don't know, learning a new language, developing a skill, playing an instrument, or simply changing the way you think. The problem is that learning requires effort, and many people prefer the comfort of ignorance rather than the challenge of growth. But every time you avoid learning, you're choosing mediocrity and accelerating your mental aging. The Stoics taught us that life is a constant process of improvement. Epictetus said, "Only a fool believes he knows everything he needs." If you stop learning, your world becomes smaller, your thoughts more rigid, and your ability to adapt weaker. It's never too late to train your mind. If you want to stay young, keep curiosity alive. Ask, explore, question. Youth is not in age, but in the willingness to keep growing. Avoiding the sun, or not protecting your skin. The 8th mistake that ages you quickly. The sun is one of the greatest sources of life, but it can also be a silent enemy if you don't handle it wisely. Avoiding it completely or exposing yourself without protection can accelerate your aging more than you think. The Stoics spoke of living in harmony with nature, and this includes understanding how to interact with the sun wisely. Marcus Aurelius spent time outdoors, recognizing the benefits of sunlight for the vitality of the body. But in excess or without caution, the sun can become destructive. One of the main factors of premature aging is cumulative sun damage. Ultraviolet UV rays destroy collagen, causing deep wrinkles, spots, and loss of elasticity in the skin. If you don't protect your skin, you'll end up looking much older than you really are. But the opposite mistake is also harmful. Avoiding the sun completely can weaken your health. Sunlight is essential for the production of vitamin D, which strengthens bones, the immune system, and mood. Lack of sun exposure can make you feel more tired, depressed, and even increase the risk of chronic diseases. Balance is key. Take advantage of the benefits of the sun consciously. Exposing yourself in the early hours of the morning or at sunset helps your body without causing damage. Using sunscreen daily protects your skin from aging without depriving you of the benefits of natural light. The Stoics taught the importance of moderation. Epictetus said, "Nothing in excess is good," and this applies perfectly to the sun. It's not about fearing it or abusing it, but using it wisely. If you want to avoid premature aging, protect your skin with sunscreen, wear proper clothing and sunglasses, but don't live in the shadows. Your skin and health will thank you in the future. 9. Being a slave to technology. When the mind atrophies and life escapes, technology is a powerful tool, but when you don't know how to control it, it becomes your master. Nowadays, millions of people live trapped in screens, constantly distracting themselves, losing focus, and letting their time slip away without even noticing. They are aging without having truly lived. The Stoics valued concentration, presence, and self-discipline. Epictetus said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." But if you're incapable of letting go of your phone, compulsively checking social media, and living more in the digital world than in reality, you've become a modern slave. Excessive use of technology has physical and mental consequences. The blue light from screens affects the production of melatonin, disrupting your sleep and accelerating cellular aging. Spending hours in front of devices also deteriorates your posture, causing chronic pain and muscle problems. But the worst part is what it does to your brain. The information overload and instant dopamine make you impatient, scattered, and addicted to instant gratification. Your ability to concentrate decreases, and little by little, you lose control over your own mind. The Stoics practiced self-control and focus. Marcus Aurelius wrote his thoughts in a journal, reflecting deeply instead of getting lost in empty distractions. Today, many people can't even spend 5 minutes without checking their phone. If you don't control your relationship with technology, it will steal something more valuable than time, your mental clarity and inner peace. It's not about rejecting technology, but using it purposefully without allowing it to consume you. Set boundaries. Use technology when you truly need it, but learn to disconnect. Go into the real world, read, converse face-to-face, meditate, train your mind to resist distractions. If you don't take control, you'll end up aging without ever having truly been present in your own life. 10. Living without purpose. The fastest path to emptiness and premature aging. There's nothing that wears down the soul and body more than living without a true purpose. Waking up every day without a clear reason to move forward, without a goal to motivate you, without an ideal to drive you, is a silent way of deteriorating. You don't just age by the years, but by the lack of meaning in your life. The Stoics understood this deeply. Marcus Aurelius said, "Choose to live according to reason and virtue, and you will never be a passive spectator of your own existence." When you lack purpose, you let life pass by without truly engaging in it, and that, over time, empties you. Without a clear purpose, you fall into mechanical routine. You work by inertia, waste time on meaningless distractions, and avoid asking yourself if you're truly living the life you want. This lack of direction creates frustration, stress, and a sense of dissatisfaction that eventually impacts your mental and physical health. It has been proven that people with a defined purpose age more slowly, are happier, and have better health. The purpose doesn't have to be something grand. It can be as simple as becoming a better version of yourself every day, helping others, learning something new, or pursuing an ideal that inspires you. The Stoics practiced self-discipline and reflection to ensure that each action had meaning. Epictetus taught that each of us has a duty to cultivate virtue and live with intention. Otherwise, we become like leaves in the wind, without direction or strength. If you feel that you don't have a clear purpose, don't wait for it to magically appear. Build it. Ask yourself, what values do I want to follow? How do I want to impact my environment? What activities make me feel alive? Then take action. Every day is an opportunity to give meaning to your existence. Living without purpose is one of the fastest ways to age because it steals your energy, motivation, and passion. Find a reason to get up every morning, and not only will you live longer, but you will live better. Aging is not just a matter of time, but of habits. Every choice you make affects your body, mind, and spirit. The Stoics teach us that living with discipline, purpose, and wisdom is the key to staying strong and resilient. Don't let stress, lack of learning, resentment, or technology steal your vitality. Take control of your life. Reflect, improve, and act with intention. True youth is not in age, but in how you choose to live each day. Which of these habits will you eliminate first? Leave it in the comments and share this video.